Hello guys, how's it going? My favorite YouTube peeps. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having an awesome day, and this is your host, Nathan. I've been doing a lot of cool vacuums, mopping robots, and today we got the Narwal T10. Alright, so you guys probably are experts on the Narwal. You guys know that it can self-wash its mopping pad. Also has a vacuuming attachment, which you can vacuum up hardwood floors or low-profile carpets. But there's some interesting features I found about the Narwal, as I've been using this guy for about 2 weeks now, and I'm going to show you that in this video. But one unique feature I'm showing right now is the way it maps out your floor plan. So I put this guy down in my bathroom area, and you can see it's mapping out the entire floor plan. That's nothing new with vacuums that have LiDAR, but this guy actually doesn't go around and clean the area. It will just kind of look in the area for a few seconds and then move on to the next area. So this area mapped out within a few seconds and it's ready to go. But I'm going to show you how it mapped out in my larger areas. And I have a bunch of debris down, bunch of obstacles. I want to see how well the Narwal T10 does. So if you like this video, give me a big old thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Comment down below if you like the Narwal T10, any features you'd like me to showcase, or any questions you have, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So let's get on with this video and show everything that the Narwal T10 has. Okay, so I mapped out my main floor plan here, and one thing I noticed is there's no multi-map saving, but I did find that the mapping process is pretty quick. I'm going to demonstrate this here. I have a pretty messy basement, been doing a lot of filming down here, so there's a bunch of obstacles, so I want to see how well the Narwal T10 can navigate this environment. So if you do have a messy floor plan, I won't worry too much about it because the Narwal doesn't really need to go around the entire area. Just kind of looks for open areas and just kind of looks quickly and then moves on to the next area. So here's a look at the map so far. Don't worry too much about the map, how it's kind of obscured. It does actually auto correct the map a little bit. And I do recommend having the base station up to an adjacent wall so it kind of gives its orientation. But you can see how the robot just kind of looked in that corner there and moves on to the next area. The mapping process upstairs took about 15 minutes to map out 2,600 square feet, and for this small area it took about 2 minutes to map out. So it's really quite impressive how the mapping process works, and I hope later on in the future most vacuum manufacturers do incorporate this technology or this feature in their algorithms. I think these robot vacuums do have the capability to do that. Narwal is just one of the first that actually implemented this technique. Okay, so once it's done, let's go back to the docking station.
Mapping complete. Plan for the route now. Mapping complete. Remapping is required if you move the base station.
Okay, so once you got the floor plan all mapped out, all you have to do is go into the quick tab, and now you can select individual rooms. And for this example, we're going to select my kitchen area, and we'll have it cleaned twice. I put a bunch of obstacles down. Let's see how well this guy does. Okay, so the Narwal will spin 360 degrees to kind of get its bearing. Once it gets bearing, it will start going to the target point. I felt the navigation is actually really good. It doesn't have any fancy navigation technology up front like the optical recognition, cameras, or any type of 3D laser system, but it does a good job able to recognize objects and kind of go around them. And I felt like it's very reliable as well. It was able to get back to its docking station 100% of the time, so that's a huge plus. That's something I do test off camera, is the reliability of the navigation, and I'm pleased to say that the Narwal's navigation is pretty good. The T10 is a pretty quiet vacuum when vacuuming. It's probably around 60 decibels or so, probably on par with the Roborock S6. So you can easily have dinner, you can watch TV, you can go to bed and have this guy run, and it won't disturb you too much. Now there's two vacuuming levels, there's normal and power. Also for the wet mopping, you have 3 different levels. You got dry, normal, and wet. So I tried to put some various objects down on the ground so you can see how well the Narwal T10 does, and was able to go around the shoestrings without getting hung up, also around the chair legs without any issues. So let's have a close look at this glass object, something that a lot of vacuums struggle with. But you can see with that front bumper, the Narwal is able to just kind of go around it gently, not really push the glass object around too much. Now for smooth surfaces like the roller mats, maybe low profile carpet, and also smooth flooring, the Narwal T10 does fine on. Now for carpeting, I don't recommend because it's a suction only port, but you can see how well it's able to pick up this dirt and debris. I do appreciate the dual side brushes. Does a good job getting the dirt and debris from both the left and right side of the robots. And no lie, let me show you what the company replied back to me when I asked about how they got their name. And this is what the company replied back to me. Yep, we hope our company can be a unicorn. So I guess Sparkles, you're famous. We have a company behind you that want inspired to be you. So good job, Sparkles. I guess you can stay on my channel. Okay, so once the T10's done with its perimeter sweep, it's just filling that room with a back and forth cleaning pattern. So take note how well it does with the obstacles. It's able to detect the obstacles and just kind of go around it. So I think this is a pretty good method here, and it did a good job not pushing the objects around too much. So I think the T10's navigation is really good, probably one of the best out there. Now, one thing I have is hopefully they can incorporate a crisscross pattern. That's something that a lot of robot vacuums do have the capabilities of doing, and I think Narwal can do that. So once it's done, we can just go back to its docking station, and it looks like it's having issues. Nope, never mind. Well, I just finished up the vacuuming performance, and it did a pretty good job. Now we're going to go on to the mopping. This is two sides of the robots, vacuuming and mopping. Okay, before I forget, I gotta empty out this dustbin. This is everything that the robot picked up after my navigation cleaning challenge. Check that out, guys. That's craziness. But oh well. Thankfully I have a robot and I can just have this clean up afterwards. Oh well, we'll pick that up later. Okay, so I emptied out the dustbin. Now let's go ahead and swap out the vacuum motor or the vacuum side brushes to the mopping pads. We'll do that real quick. Flip this guy over, or kind of show you here. It's pretty easy. Just grab from the top here, held on by a magnet, and then we're gonna just slip on the mopping pads, which just kind of clips on there. Okay, you should be good to go, and you just rotate. Sweet. Alright, so the next thing we do is we're just going to grab our water tank. This is a 5-liter tank, and there's like a max level. There's two ways to fill this up. You can fill up from the top here, the lid actually opens up, or there's actually a little fill hole right here as well. So it's up to you. Now, Narwal does sell these like detergent pads. And one thing to know is make sure you fill up the water first and then drop in the detergent pad. And I do recommend using this after 1 or 2 minutes after dropping this guy in to have the best effect, because it just reacts with the water and it is a pretty strong substance. So it's recommended to use it after 1 or 2 minutes putting this in. Okay, let's go now try this out and we'll see how well these detergent pad does in my kitchen area. I did put a bunch of debris around. The robot picked it up, and now we're going to see if it can mop up the rest of the debris. Let's go ahead and just fill this guy up here. Okay, so I got this guy filled up with water. I don't think you need to do hot water just because you got the cleaning detergent. Also, after the time that the robot goes back and washes mopping pad, I'm pretty sure the water would have cooled off by then. So that's just something to consider. Now let's go and check out this detergent. It's Daily Scent, very interesting. And it's actually a sealable bag here, and you can reseal it here. So it's very cool. So we'll just open this guy up. And let's just kind of see what this is all about. Okay, so it looks like it does come with several little clean detergent pads. So let's just grab one of these guys. Drop it in there. Just kind of poke it down in there, I guess. Yep, looks like it's doing something. Can you guys see that? And we'll just seal this guy back up. And then just kind of close it all up. And look at that, guys. See that? It's actually already breaking up and it's just kind of mixing up with the water. So I can see why they don't want you to do it putting this on the bottom and just kind of filling it up. So it kind of helps dilute everything and just kind of settles down to the bottom. Alright, so let's go and put this back in the docking station and we're going to start mopping. Okay, so there's a lot of features in the app about the mopping and vacuuming. So here's the example of the map I have. Now, if you jump into room 2, which is my kitchen area, yeah, I got lazy just naming it. But basically what you can do is you can tell the robot to go out once, twice, or 3 times to clean this area. You can also divide the area up if you want more of an intense clean within each of the areas. Now, the robot does have 3 different water levels, dry, normal, and wet. And the robot will determine when it needs to go out and go back to docking station to clean its mopping pad and to pre-wet it. Okay, so there is like a feature where you can actually preset everything so you don't have to worry about messing it once you got everything preset. So right now everything's set to normal. It goes out 2 times to clean and it has normal water level. You can also do that in the vacuum side as well, set the vacuum levels. So it's interesting that Narwal called this scheduling, even though it has nothing to do with the timer, but basically allows you to adjust these sliders down here, and you can actually change like how many times you want the robot to clean and how much water level you want put down. So for room 2, I'm just going to go ahead and have it just set to 1 time, and we'll just go ahead and save it up top here. And now the robot, when it cleans that area, will just only clean once. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back into here. We'll just do it quick. Select room 2, and again with this option you can just slide down to 1, and let's go and get started.
Start mopping.
Okay, so I usually only mop maybe once a week, and this thing does have the ability to like mop up to 3 times in a single area. And if it's a large area like this, it will actually go back to its docking station each time it's finished up the cleaning job and re-rinse its mopping pad and clean it up, and then go back to that area. For this example, I'm just having the robot clean once, but one thing I did notice is there's no like crisscross pattern if you have it mop more than once, so that's just something hopefully Narwal can include in a later update. Okay, so it looks like it's almost done, so it's going to go back to its docking station to wash the mopping pad and to dry it. So I'm going to show you a before and after how well the cleaning system works. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look at the mopping pads. So my kitchen floor looks fairly clean, but they still managed to pick up some dirt and debris. So this guy's really designed for the light mopping task. I like the hands-off experience where it auto cleans the mopping pads after it's done. Also, there's a feature where it air dries the mopping pads. Haven't really timed how long it takes, but it takes about an hour to air dry, and the mopping process or the cleaning process takes about 2 minutes. Kind of sounds like a dishwasher.
Mopping complete. Start to dry the mop. Exiting home. Please keep the space clear.
Well, what do you guys think about the design of the docking station? I think it's a pretty cool design, especially having that LED display, and there's some nice quick toggles on top of the docking station that allows you to recall the robot. You could also create a new map from the docking station and pause the robot as well. So for the most part, the docking station did a good job cleaning the mopping pads, and if you use the cleaning solution, it helps minimize the odors, and I felt like it did a good job drying them as well.
Returning home. The robot is in the base station.
Alright, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. I'll give you my final thoughts after using this guy for about 2 weeks now. So as a disclaimer, I did receive this product in exchange for a review. I have been going back and forth with the company, and they gave me some great information. So Narwal is coming here in the USA. I believe the pre-order is today, April 6th, the time of release of this video. And there is a coupon that I'm going to provide down in my description. So if you're interested in getting one, check out my description with the link below. Okay, so the pros with the Narwal is it's a really good navigator. The company did state that they spend a lot of time and money into perfecting the algorithms, and it's very reliable. Was able to get to its docking station 100% of the time during my testing. Also, you can see that the Narwal is able to go around all the obstacles, even get to this back corner there where some vacuums do miss that area. So I was actually pretty impressed with the navigation. While I like the dual side brush design, I kind of wish they were speed sensitive, so in open areas they would slow down so they don't scatter the debris as much, but that's something that Narwal could implement since this robot vacuum does have a dedicated wall sensor. Okay, so how I personally use this setup is I actually use the Narwal for the mopping since it has a self-cleaning mopping, and I use the Ecovacs D-Bot Innate Pro for the self-emptying because it has a pretty good vacuuming system. So that's just something to consider. You could actually get the dedicated mopping robot and then you get a dedicated robot vacuum. So if you have smooth flooring like hardwood floors, tiles, or even like rubber mats, I think the Narwal T10's section only port does fine. I was actually quite impressed how well it picked up a lot of the dirt and debris off my flooring. And you can see that the dustbin is actually quite full. Let me give you guys an up close shot here. So it actually did better than some of the vacuums that had an extractor bar on my hardwood floors. See all those Lucky Charms there, the colors here? Yeah, it's a pretty full dustbin. Okay, so how I personally use the Narwal T10 is I use it for the mopping only. So basically, I like the fact that it can self-wash its mopping pad. And then I use the Ecovacs D-Bot Innate Pro Plus for the vacuum side since it has a self-emptying bin. So both the vacuums combined have a hands-off experience. And it's kind of funny how both robots can do either or, mopping or vacuuming, but they have their strengths. And there's that unique system where you can change out the vacuuming side to the mopping side. And I do like the fact that you can replace the battery just by removing the two screws from the battery plate. All right, have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time, and be safe out there. Adios.
Returning home.